What's good? What's good? It's your boy Nova.
And your boy Wayne, man. You already know what it is.
And we coming here to talk to you people. You know what I'm saying? We this is our first time doing a little podcast. You know what I'm saying? Just to show you that we're versatile.
Very.
We're versatile.
Very.
We can review anything.
Yeah.
And today's topic, like one of the main topics, is the NFL, man. The NFL.
What about the NFL in particular?
Lamar Jackson had a hell of a game last night.
Whoa.
I just want to get that out there.
Whoa. Did he?
I'm not gonna lie. I was a doubter. I wasn't a doubter per se. I just didn't think he was that good. Yeah.
So get into what you mean by doubter in particular. Now, do you mean like you didn't think that he could be a quarterback? Like people thought he should play receiver, or did you think he just couldn't get it done at this level that he's doing? What did you mean?
No, I was a doubter in the sense of his ability to pass the ball, not just be an athlete, because he's a hell of an athlete.
Yeah.
But pass the ball with
precision.
The precision he's been passing with so early. I thought it was going to be a progression, probably like year 7 that we'll see.
Yeah.
But he's showing glimpses of that right now.
That's fair enough.
That game was, I literally watched the whole fourth quarter. I didn't watch I watched some of the third, but I was exercising, so I was sitting down doing some treatment on my legs. And I watched the fourth quarter, and I was just like, I said, they have to score now. I think I was watching it with like 10 minutes or something. Indianapolis had just scored, and I was like, the score's still kind of close. If they score now, they got to score quick. And they did, and they scored with like 2 minutes, like a minute and something left. And then for them to like...
When I turned that game on, it was the fourth quarter was just starting. They were down by 11, okay? And Indy had the ball, right? And I saw Indy doing some things, and I was like, it's the playoffs in baseball right now. The Dodgers was on. I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to... Lamar about to lose this one. I didn't want to really see him. I'm not about to watch this. I'm watching the Dodgers game, and I'm looking at the ticker, and I'm looking at the score change, and I'm like, hey, let me get back over here and check this out right quick. And when I got in there, he was just now, like they were just punching it in on the game time touchdown. He was just putting up the 2 points. And I couldn't believe that earlier I looked at the score and they were only had like 3 points or something. Like they were down by like 20-something points. And he did this. He's been doing this for like since week 1. I mean, he's been doing this every week. The games are always close. It's always on his shoulders. And hey, Kaz, don't feel bad because I as well was a Lamar Jackson doubter. His MVP season is when I woke up on him. You know what I'm saying? But even during his MVP season, I was still kind of, I don't know about this dude. But he just, every week, he just kept putting the numbers up. And to see what he's doing now with all the injuries that they have on that team, lots of distractions in the offseason. He had caught COVID twice. I don't think he's even vaccinated or anything. Like, people keep pressing him about it. And he's performing, man. He's been doing his thing all season, you know what I'm saying? And you definitely got to give him his props if you haven't already.
Yeah, even like with all the issues with the running backs, man, they went through. It was like every running back they was signed. They had J.K. Dobbins hurt. Then after J.K. Dobbins, they signed some guy in the preseason that basically forced Mark Ingram to skedaddle, and that guy stepped up. And I mean, it was his starting position. Yeah. He would have had a hell of a story. And he gets hurt. Yeah. He gets hurt. And then, Lamar Murray comes from the Saints.
And the way he ended up there was freak because they just didn't want to pay him. So he ended up getting cut. I mean, he wasn't even supposed to be there, so.
They walked in the locker room. Hey, Murray, can we get a couple dollars back? And he was like, nah.
Yeah,
they was like, all right, then you ain't got no job.
Exactly. And I, to touch on that a little bit, man, I wouldn't have did that either. Like, why would you take a pay cut? First off, they probably overpaid him anyway.
Oh, they did. They did.
You're a Saints fan, so you can speak to that one for sure.
They gave him the money that Mark Ingram wanted, but I must say, Mark Ingram wanted a starting role. He knew he was competing with AK.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, I want to be a featured back, and he had an opportunity to do that with the Ravens, but he had a great first season. But J.K. Dobbins came pushing up on his back, and he was cheaper.
Yeah.
And you know how the NFL goes. If I got something cheaper that's doing the same thing as you and is younger,
gotta take that.
You're gonna be gone. And Mark Ingram, I love him as a team guy.
Yeah,
he's a team
big
guy.
trust.
He's a locker
big
room.
trust.
I love the energy. If you ever watch him, the energy he brings to a team is absurd. Mm-hmm. Like he's a fun guy. He's a fun guy to be around. And his work ethic, he works hard.
Yeah.
But I mean, hey, Lamar Jackson has put that team on his back, and he made me out a believer last night. I was watching the kid. I was like, man, I'm thoroughly impressed on his progression. Yeah. And the thing is, he hasn't even hit his pinnacle. He still has tools to add to his arsenal. Like, we haven't even seen
not even 25
Lamar
yet.
Jackson. Yeah, we haven't even seen Lamar Jackson, the drop back pocket passer yet.
And he can
we
be.
Haven't seen
and
it.
he can definitely be that.
Yeah.
He can definitely be that. So right now, looking at everybody, I mean, listen, man, this dude is 4-1 now? They're 4-1 in the AFC right now.
Yeah.
You see the Chiefs are definitely one of the worst teams in the AFC. We just got to keep that 100.
Man.
I don't care who they got under center. I don't care who they got a head coach. That's one of the worst teams.
It's the defense.
Definitely, they're giving up 30 points plus per game. So that's definitely not going to get it done. They already were just like a tag along ragtag type of group anyway prior to this season. And now this year, I mean, it got rid of Frank Clark. You know what I'm saying? That was big. And I don't even know what to say, man. Tyrann Mathieu is a serviceable DB. He's really good at safety. They don't have no corner play though.
It's not him.
Play is terrible. They get no pressure. No pressure on the quarterback.
It's that guy. What's his name? Sorgen. I can't think of his name. But if you watch that guy, he single-handedly is screwing over the secondary. Let me find this guy's name, because when I say
Sorensen?
Is it Sorensen?
49 or something like that. He got like a
no.
He's a cornerback.
He's a safety or something for the Chiefs.
Okay,
and he has blown more coverage this year than anybody I've known. I mean, you see, they got a meme going around with Tyrann Mathieu holding up his hands every time this guy is on the receiving end of a punishing deep ball. Like, he just forgets his assignment. He was running the other day with the tight end. He was running to the sideline. He thought the play was over because, you know, it's a DB in your head. Hey, 5 seconds gone by. The ball should be gone.
Yeah.
So he was under the route. He was on the under route. And he just stopped. He ran to the sideline, and the tight end kept running. Allen, who's a mobile quarterback, who can move with his feet, he's also mobile, and he has a huge arm.
Right.
He has a massive arm, and he just chunked it down the field, and Tyrann Mathieu was like.
So we going into what is it going to be? Week 5 now? We about to go into week 6, week 5, week 6.
Daniel Sorensen.
Hey, he's been there for a while too, man. He was one of their best safeties the year that they won a Super Bowl. But I mean, that was a few years ago. You know what I'm saying? What have you done for me lately? He ain't been doing a lot. But with all the stats and everything, who do you think is the MVP right now, man?
Man, you know what? It's out of Kyler Murray or Lamar Jackson.
No Justin Herbert in there? You don't want to put Justin Herbert in there at all?
You know, he is good. I ain't going.
Don't front.
He's good.
Don't front. Listen.
Listen.
I doubted this.
How many?
This dude last year. I'm not doubting him again.
How many slots do I get? How many slots do I get?
This MVP right now. Top five.
So I'm gonna go Kyler Murray because they're undefeated.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
Lamar Jackson. Dak Prescott.
Okay, I'll put Dak in there. That's fair.
Your boy that you just said,
Herbert. Okay, Chargers.
Herbert. I'll put him at 5.
Okay, who you gonna put at the 4?
And then I probably would say Tom Brady.
That's fair. All QBs in there.
Yeah, he's 44, and I mean, oh no, I'm sorry. You're right. I gotta bump Tom Brady to 5,
Okay.
and I gotta put Diggs at number 4.
Stephon Diggs?
Yes, not Stephon, Tyler, his brother.
Cornerback from the Cowboys. You put him in the MVP. Now, I would say DPOY, but you mean MVP? I was looking at him more like defensive player of the year because he got 6 interceptions already this year, 6 or 7.
Six in 5 games.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's big. That's big.
To me, if you look at the Cowboys and where they've been struggling, they haven't been struggling up front. It was on the back end, the cornerbacks.
All the time.
This guy has came in and single-handedly. You can't throw on the Cowboys now. You can't throw to one side.
Okay.
You can't throw to one. They're so good. The Cowboys. I hate to say it. And if Cowboy fans see this, they're gonna roast me. But I hate to say
Cowboy fans roast people anyway. It's all right. It's cool.
You know your defense is good when you get rid of one of your top linebackers for nothing.
Hey, Michael Parsons. Hey, no. You know that you got a gem and from the draft where you can get rid of one of your best linebackers for nothing. That's what we just said a little while ago about getting something young, better, cheaper. Yeah, I mean, listen. Let's keep it real. All right, let's keep it real. Smith had a huge contract with the Cowboys. He's not producing like Michael Parsons was already doing more this year than Smith was. I mean, not saying that he wasn't doing enough or nothing. He had a decent season already, but not only that, he's had knee issues. You know what I'm saying? He's pretty injury prone. So you got a guy coming in, Michael Parsons. He's young, he's a stud. He's putting in work all preseason. You know what I'm saying? Coming into this season very strong. Outside of Diggs, I would say he's probably the best player on their defense. I mean, Diggs has been doing his thing, but without the front seven doing what they do, Diggs can't do what he do. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking at Parsons. I mean, especially because D-Law went down so early. You know what I'm saying? Dexter Lawrence went down early. I mean, we thought he was going to have like a great year rushing the passer. He's injured now. Michael Parsons is doing a lot for that team. And I mean, I'm not even going to lie. I was just about to kind of throw out there the fact that the Cowboys ain't really played anybody other than the Bucks right now. But it's early in the season. Nobody's really played anybody yet. It's still early, so I think it's fair.
This is how great teams I coached a little bit of football.
Okay.
Not on that level, but
shit, of course, right?
When I right. But when you watch sports, and I tell people, if a team is good, then they will destroy people that is way beneath them.
Mm-hmm. That's what they're supposed to do.
And they're doing that. They're doing that. They're doing that. You know, they're a couple plays away from Tampa Bay. They had ample opportunities to beat Tampa Bay. And I think the moment got too big for them, but it was a learning lesson for them. But they're doing what they're supposed to do. When you put 44 points up on a division rival in a division game, that is saying your team is going to destroy a lot of people because that's a division game. They know
They put up 40 points on 2 division opponents so far. They put up 40 on the Eagles too.
Yeah, and that means because those teams are built to what you have, and these teams know you, but better than anybody.
But can I just stop you right quick? You got to keep it real. Can we not agree that the NFC is probably like the worst division in all of football? I mean,
NFC East.
The NFC East, my fault. Worst division. I mean, last year they definitely were. This year they're not looking any better. The Giants are terrible. They got a win in there, but they're freaking terrible.
I don't want to talk about that one.
He's going to talk about. They're going to play the Giants again. They're going to get the rest. They're going to get the Washington football team up in there. You know what I'm saying? They're going to get the Eagles again. They already hung 40 on the Eagles already. They hung 40 on the Giants already. So it's not looking good for those two teams coming up. So, but go ahead. I mean, I just want to just keep that in there for all intents and purposes.
I just say, like, when they do that to teams, then we know the Giants are sorry, but the Giants have the Cowboys playbook.
Yeah.
That's the Eagles have their playbook,
especially because the ex head coach is the offensive coordinator of the Giants, so he should definitely be familiar with the personnel.
They all know each other. That's why you have division games like you'll see. So take for instance, the Saints are gonna hang up 50 on somebody, right? we blow out Green Bay, and then we stink it up against the Panthers. You know why? It's a divisional game.
Yeah, they expecting you.
They know what we do.
Don't catch them off guard or nothing like that.
Yeah. So, but rolling on the big news in the NFL, man, John Gruden, he's out of there.
Let's brief the people with a little bit about what's going on right now with the John Gruden saga.
Okay, within I want to say like Friday the emails came out.
Okay.
About saying that he said something. He talked about the NFL Players Association president DeMarcus Smith. Mm-hmm. He said that his lips were like Michelin tires, were big like Michelin tires, mm-hmm. and you know, a lot of people said racism. Yeah. You know, I call it for what it is. It is. I mean, they often refer to black people with
Sambo. That's the whole Sambo looking thing.
Yeah. And I refer to it as a microaggression. Mm-hmm. You know, if you're comfortable saying that, you know, now I would like to see the whole context, because maybe you know what I'm saying. I could say, hey, you got some big lips, you know, but it is what it is. I seen enough of the email to know, bruh, where there's smoke, there's fire. But here's the thing. Have you watched the Dave Chappelle, the closing?
I have. That can we just. If you haven't seen that, this is not an ad up or anything for that, but great stand up. I think it was great.
And it circles back to this. And it's in his opening scene where he talks about what you can do to black people. You can kill black people, you can call them names, everything. Gruden didn't get fired for what he said about DeMarcus Smith. He got fired for what came out Sunday night.
About?
Gay people. He called the commissioner.
Yeah, he used a derogatory term for the commissioner.
Yeah, he dropped the F-bomb. Yeah. He dropped the F-bomb. Yeah. Not the F-U-C.
Not maggot, you know, not maggot, but the opposite of maggot. With an F.
A harsh word toward gay people.
Yes.
The LGBTQ community. Yeah. And he also went against women. Mm-hmm. He talked bad about women. The women officials, saying that he didn't like that they were getting women referees. And then he didn't like that Roger Goodell was forcing Jeff Fisher to draft a gay player, Sam Montgomery. I think that's his name. Michael Sam. Sam Montgomery. I'm thinking of the guy from LSU. But Michael Sams. And he was against that. Uh-huh. And not he used colorful language to describe that situation, which, when I look at it as a coach, you shouldn't be talking like that in private, man. I know people are like, oh, I have these private conversations. There's other ways to describe your displeasure with stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not that, bro. Not that. And then, like I say, it wasn't the emails about DeMarcus Smith and his half-hearted attempt at an apology about the situation, because he really didn't want to apologize. He really didn't care.
Because he meant what he said.
I mean, he called the commissioner the F-bomb. He talked about Michael Sams. He talked about the whole gay ordeal. And he has a gay player on his team. He got the first openly gay player on his to serve in the football.
Carl Nassib. I think Carl Nassib.
Yeah, the second openly gay player.
Honestly, Michael Sam was like a practice squad bench. Carl Nassib's a actual starting caliber player, and he came out, I think, over the summer, saying that he was open with his homosexuality, which is great. If that's who you are, if that's
live your life,
that's great.
Live your truth.
There's nothing wrong with that. That's a great thing. Me, honestly, when I first heard what he said about D. Smith's lips or whatever,
I wasn't surprised.
In the current climate that we're in right now, you know, it's really, really easy if you see somebody as lighter colored, a white person, obviously. It's really easy to throw the racist bomb whenever they say anything. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, hey, man, I might say somebody got some big lips. It don't make me racist. You know what I'm saying? But it's the multitude of things that that came out in the emails, and it was not just that one thing that he said about D. Smith slips. They said there were other. They didn't even put out the rest of the stuff that was said in there, so it was other conversations. He probably brought other racist diatribes and threw things in there. Who knows what else he did? But he also talked about he didn't like the way that the NFL was trying to cut down on concussions, and he said I guess he was making the game a little weaker or more soft or something like that. So it was a lot of stuff that he said that made him decide to resign. I'm sure the owner, Mr. Davis over at the Raiders, I'm sure he told him that he needed to get up out of there. But like you said, when everything came out last week, he shouldn't have even coached on Sunday. He shouldn't have had the opportunity to coach on Sunday because of the media circus that was going to.
And you can see it.
They thought it was going to just get off with it, like it was going to be nothing, but it was way more coming down the pipeline that they weren't expecting. And with what's going on, like you said, with the LGBTQ community right now, with women trying to break ceilings and get into fields like the NFL, become coaches in the NBA and whatnot, you cannot have people in his position thinking that way and talking that way. And the thing is with that is that, he's not a lone wolf in this situation. That in the organization, in the club,
what was the replies?
Exactly. We get to the fact of how these emails even came about? How about that part? How did these emails how did we even find out about these emails?
So, there were some allegations of workplace misbehavior within the Washington football team organization.
From the very top.
Yeah, it was some detrimental accusations. So they the Washington football team themselves tried to jump ahead of the NFL and said, we're going to launch an independent investigation. They hired a law firm. The law firm went in. The law firm was like, we're going to turn this over to the NFL. That's how serious it was. So the NFL hired their own team of investigators. They went in, they went to the servers. They found 650,000 emails dating back 10 years. They wasn't looking for John Gruden.
Mm-hmm. They were just trying to find out about the sexual allegations, right?
Yeah, because it was allegations of just inappropriate behavior with the cheerleaders, demeaning, and from the leaks that we got so far from the emails, I don't know how Dan Snyder is still an owner of a football team. Because this is what in Gardell, it's getting ugly. Because back in I think July 10th, I want to say, they find it was in July or something. They find the Redskins from the investigation. They find the Redskins $10 million,
and that's a huge fine. To just levy on somebody, that's a huge fine. So something had to be going on with that. But
my thing is, if you had all this information in those 650 emails, and all you did was $10 million, and you didn't, I don't feel like that's accountability. A man having his cheerleaders from the reports that I've seen.
Allegedly, right?
No, not allegedly. These are in the email. These were in the leaked emails.
Okay.
And it connects to Gruden
because his brother was the head coach there, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Gruden was getting topless pictures of the cheerleaders sent to him from the director and the team president and Dan Snyder.
So wait a minute, Cass. So the whole time John Gruden's brother was the head coach there. You don't think he was the one maybe sending his brother these pictures? You think it was just jumping over him and going straight to the owner? Or maybe his brother is being held out. Maybe they're not using everybody who could be implicated in this. I would find that very hard to believe. If my brother was at this organization, I would have a tighter relationship with the owner than my brother.
Look, it says John Gruden was receiving images of Washington cheerleaders being forced to pose topless.
They did say there was some sexual misconduct going on. So,
and we can quickly say, well, what they got to do with John Gruden? It has a lot to do with him, because me and you both were in the military. And what happens if you do something bad and I don't report it? And And first of all, when you get in trouble, they're gonna be like, "Hey,
who else knows about this or anything?"
Yeah, where Love at? Well, where the other Love, because Love and Love. Go get the other Love. They was with him. And I'm gonna get in trouble for not reporting your misdeeds.
Right.
So to that extent,
it's accountability.
He was complicit. Mm-hmm. Even to not say nothing, you're being complicit.
It questions his character as well, because you have to look at another head coach who's going through some hot fire right now, Urban Meyer, down in Jacksonville. With what happened with him last weekend, a couple weekends ago, one of his restaurants, I guess a young lady was kind of giving him what looked to be a lap dance at his restaurant, came out. We remember when he was at Ohio State, he had a head coach that was there that had some misconduct issues as well. And it was a big media storm because the wife supposedly told Urban Meyer's wife what was going on, and she kind of held it secret, but lo and behold, I think Urban Meyer was knowledgeable about this the whole time. He kind of has a record of this, right? So when you see people in those positions having records, you kind of have to question a lot of the stuff that they do. So you look at John Gruden the same way. That's a shaky thing for him to be having knowledge of and thinking it's just okay and not say anything about it or anything. And then he was in a position at ESPN where he was on television. Very influential guy, man. Could be looked at as a very powerful guy in some football circles because he's a Super Bowl champion.
Knowledgeable guy.
Yeah, Super Bowl champion.
They had the Gruden camp, the quarterback camp, where the quarterbacks would go and sit in front of Gruden.
Young, impressionable players. You know what I'm saying? High school players, college players. You know? And then that was another thing. I think it was Keyshawn Johnson I saw earlier. And, I mean, he would know more about John Gruden than anybody. He's one of his ex-players, won a Super Bowl on his team in Tampa. And even he said he never really felt genuineness from John Gruden when he came to Tampa. Obviously, we know Tony Dungy kind of built that team that won that Super Bowl, and he just couldn't get him over the hump. But he said he was some things that was questionable about John Gruden even back then that he looks at and sees him now, and he kind of had this untouchableness to him that he said. And you can see it. I mean, the guy gets a $100 million deal to be a head coach after sitting in the booth. Really didn't do anything in his whole career other than take the Raiders to the Snow Bowl against the Patriots, which started Tom Brady's dynasty career. And then he won a Super Bowl with the Buccaneers with someone else's team. Other than that,
with Tony Dungy.
Other than that, John Gruden has done. Oh, then he traded. He could have traded Khalil Mack when he got to the Raiders and sent him to the Bears, making them a really great defense. But he really hasn't done much as a head coach. He hasn't, like, Derek Carr was an MVP candidate under Jack Del Rio a couple years ago. He hasn't gotten to that under John Gruden. It's just that I don't really know. They say he's like a quarterback whisperer or something like that, but I don't know too many quarterbacks that he's built to some type of MVP caliber type of player or anything. So I don't know where he gets, where people tell. I mean, because his plays sound really cool and really, really long. I mean, I don't really know where they get this football.
Charismatic.
Yeah, it has to be what it is.
He has that matter of fact tone to him.
Mm-hmm. I look at a head coach with the Rams like a Sean McVay, who I guess you could kind of say young like John Gruden was when he came in, offensive guru, as they say, fiery guy. But you could see the team that Sean McVay, that's his team. You know what I'm saying? The coach that was there prior to him didn't do anything with that Rams squad at all. You know what I'm saying? Jeff Fisher did nothing with the Rams at all. And then Sean McVay comes there in 2 years, takes to the Super Bowl with a very subpar quarterback. So I just don't see that with John Gruden. I never saw how he was going to make that $100 million pay off. Even if he had won a Super Bowl, I don't think he's worth $100 million as a head coach unless he wins like 8. Like Bill Belichick's not even getting paid that much. And he's definitely, I would say he's
way better.
I would say he's more of a coach than John Gruden is, you know, but you know, I guess it really is what it is when it all boils down to it.
I'm just baffled and taken back. And it says among the 650,000 emails shifted through were a handful of emails sent from former Washington executive Bruce Allen to John Gruden containing images of topless team cheerleaders who were forced to pose. I can't get over that, forced to pose. Like, it's one thing to share them if the ladies did that on their own free will in the card. You know what I'm saying? They wanted to do that. Then you share them. That's, you know, hey.
Even that can still be looked at as a little sketchy, though. But
On
you're
the
right.
on,
You're right.
on,
If it's at your own free will.
you do that on Gmail to Gmail, not NFL.com to ESPN.com. You know what I'm saying? You don't do that at NFL.com addresses.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and it's just sickening, man. It said it's like it wasn't just him, it was other men exchange emails with photos. Like they had a whole ring, a whole perv ring. And then here you are being misogynistic about women, and you're a coach.
Yeah.
You're a coach of an NFL franchise, man.
Yeah, really, a franchise where women are big fans. There are lots of female Raider fans out there. Like when you look at the Cowboys, the Raiders, and maybe the Steelers and the Saints. I would say the Saints. I think they have like a very, very high female fan base, and you don't want to alienate women when it comes to football. I mean, those are the moms out there that are going to allow their sons to go out there and continue to play this very dangerous sport. Especially when
and that's what Keyshawn Johnson said.
Yeah, you don't want that to happen, man. I mean, come on, people are forgetting the importance that women play. I mean, I'm not even gonna lie. I've looked at it at one point, and I'm like, what's the purpose of the cheerleaders at the football game? Like, I'm trying to see the game, but hey. That's like one of the Al Davis.
That's part of the game.
That's one of Al Davis and maybe not Al Davis, or was it Jerry Buss? I don't know who it was. One of those guys kind of brought the cheerleaders to professional sports, but that was their vision. And hey, they have become a part of the game now. Rather, people are going to accept. They're just as part of the game as the guy who's on the announcer, giving up, calling the players' names and stuff like that. The cheerleaders are important, and you don't want to abuse them or women in general in a sport like the NFL, where it has been seen that a lot of players have abused women off the field. You know what I'm saying? And you don't want that to be the message.
And the thing is, why people go, oh, these emails were 10 years ago. There were emails up until 2018. But that's beside the point, because he was talking about the Black Lives Matter protest and how he don't like that and all that stuff, right? As a coach, where the league is probably 75% black or more.
85. I mean, it's only 2 or 3 skilled players in the NFL that are not black. So
yeah. And so
those guys are really good.
For you to vocalize, for you to say one thing in public and act like this way around your players, but then go and type emails how you really feel. To me, I'd rather you be straight up. Mm-hmm. I'd rather you be straight up. Say, hey, I'm against the protest, but I'm gonna let my players do whatever they gotta do. Especially
when your face card ain't that good. Like I said, when John Gruden first came to the Raiders, it's not like he came. I think the only person that was happy was the owner, because I think they're like buddies or something off the field. But nobody was really ecstatic about him coming, because it's like, what have you done? You know what I'm saying? Then he came right in the door and traded away their best player. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing? You didn't look what he did. He got rid of Khalil Mack, and now he's gone. Like, he's not even there to see the whole thing fail like we know it's going to. You know what I'm saying? It's just not fair. It's not right. He came in there. He stirred the pot, shook the table. Man, he turned the table over. And then he just walked out.
For an unproven guy, he got the keys to something.
He won a Super Bowl.
And I think he's a part owner, too, of the Raiders.
Probably. I mean, I think he got a lot.
I think he's a
because that $100 million came with other incentive tied into it. Like, it was a lot that went with that. And he, like I said, he did win the Super Bowl. I mean, we can't take it from him. He did go out there. He was fortunate enough to coach his former team, which I don't think even changed the playbook, which really helped the Buccaneers out there.
And that defense for the Buccaneers was
all time. That's an all-time defense.
They had Derek Brooks. They had the Barber,
Warren Sapp,
one of the
John Lynch, Rondé Barber, Simeon Rice was on the team. Booker McFarland was on that team, man. Our Monday Night Football buddy. Keyshawn Johnson on offense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Mike Allstott.
Ward Dunn.
Yeah, Ward. I think Ward Dunn was gone that year. I think he had.
Was he
with the Falcons? He had just left.
No, it might have been Brad Johnson.
Yeah, Brad Johnson was there. Yeah, I mean, that team is what made me like
Simeon. Was it Simeon Rice?
Simeon Rice, yeah.
I think he was young.
That team right there made me like football. That team made me an NFL fan.
I was playing game day. I was playing game day with him.
To think back and think that team with that head coach made me love football so much. And then full circle, you get what I think it's about to be 20. They won that in 2002, so almost 20 years later. This guy is They took him out of the ring of the Tampa Bay. They dropped him out of the ring of honor today as well. So he's not in the ring anymore.
Rightfully so.
Rightfully so, and he's probably going to just have to die out in the shadows. He's probably not going to hear his name anymore after the next few weeks.
He dropped. Not only did he leave $60 billion on the table, he dropped future bags.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to have to hire. I'm pretty sure he'll come back in a couple of years. He'll do a pod. Did you read his statement? That was the most unapologetic. That
was a privileged apology.
Yeah, it was half-hearted. I said, "Come on, bro."
I'm sorry
I let you down.
He apologized from a place of privilege. He didn't apologize for what happened. He apologized because he got caught. That's all that was. He apologized because he got caught. He didn't apologize because of what was said. And that's the difference, you know what I'm saying? You should be very apologetic about what was said, not about the fact that you got caught saying what you did say. And he meant what he said. And like I said, I wish that the emails that went out, wish we could see the replies. I wish we could see the people, because for him to receive it and send it, there had to be somebody on the other end of that as well.
They were comfortable. They were comfortable.
Very much so. Good old boys. They're good old boy network.
I want to know who was CC'd in the email.
Exactly. Who else seen it?
Yeah. And it's crazy because here's his statement. I have resigned as the head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. I love the Raiders and do not want to be a distraction. Thank you to all the players, coaches, staffs, and fans of Raider Nation. I'm sorry I never meant to hurt anybody. You didn't apologize for your behavior. Nope. You said, I quit. I resigned because I didn't want to be a distraction. Mm-hmm. Not because of what I did. I'm not sorry for what I did.
All right.
This is your time. This is your moment to say, I'm resigning because things I've done, and I'm taking accountability of language that I've used in private settings that I shouldn't have used. Because you're the same coach that when a player does something wrong in a private setting, when he might abuse his wife, might drink too much alcohol, get pulled over, you're doling out punishment.
Right.
But here you are passing judgment like that. You can't, and we expect you to be fair.
And this is my thing, right? When the Colin Kaepernick saga was going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
I felt like he was one of those guys who was campaigning for Kaepernick to get another shot, right?
And you know,
go ahead. What you say?
No, you say he was campaigning to get
Cap back in NFL, or at least he was capping like he was campaigning to get Cap back into the NFL. But then you look back at the fact that he was asking for players like Eric Reed, who were kneeling during the anthem, to be fired. So if you were asking for these players to be fired in private, but in public saying Cap should get another opportunity, were you really even sincere when you were saying that, or was that just a part of the script? That was just a part of the script, man.
Script.
The whole time, he was one of those guys, probably in those emails behind the scenes, saying we can't let this guy back into the league, we can't do this and we can't do that. In fact, we need to fire the guys who are demonstrating with him. If he was behind the scenes saying this, and like I said, he's looked at in football circles as a powerful guy. Once again, he's an intelligent coach. He's a Super Bowl champion coach. There's not a lot of those guys running around. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he's in that cream, that cream crust part. You know what I'm saying? And what he says holds a lot of weight, man. And to be in a position like a head coach or a GM or anything like that in professional sports, you have to be above reproach, I think. And
and I just like how people go, oh, people are soft now. It's not about being soft. You just don't talk like that in private, man. You got to have integrity. You have to have integrity so that we don't question when things like this come out. You know, we shouldn't find out like things. We heard the rumors. You heard them before from players that said things, but they were ignored. Keyshawn Johnson said some things about him back in the past, and people ignored him, right? And whatever, Keyshawn Johnson, you know. But now it comes full circle, and it's just like
shedding light on everything.
You know, like it's damning. It's hurtful. It's hurtful because you're a coach, man.
Mm-hmm.
You're a coach, and you're coaching these grown men. You have their careers in your hand. And this is how you do. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Can't hear you.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
All right.
So now the NFL Players Association has petitioned the NFL to release all 650,000 emails. In a statement from one of the lawyers said, where is it? Attorney representing 40 employees of the Washington football team also urged the NFL to release the emails. The lawyer said it is truly outrageous that after the NFL's 10-month-long investigation involving hundreds of witnesses, 650,000 documents related to long-time culture of harassment and abuse at the Washington football team's facility, the only person to be held accountable and lose their job is the coach of the Las Vegas Raiders.
And
that's some truth.
And it's not even because of that. He lost his job because of some other stuff that was said had nothing to do with what's going on with the Washington football team.
That's what I'm saying. He got caught up. Got caught up. Just they weren't even looking for him, but here you are. They sent it got. I think, and then the thing is, they sent it to the Raiders. I think the Raiders been had it, but it wasn't until a reporter, probably from the lawyers. The lawyers probably leaked it to the reporters. You know, when the reporters do their job, they start asking them questions.
Right.
Hey, they want answers. And then they go, okay. They did like this. We're gonna send out a soft one. He said this about DeMarcus Smith. And everybody was like, oh, that ain't racist. Oh, that's just talk.
And that's what everybody was saying all weekend. John's not this. Gruel's not that. Chucky's not this way. That's my guy.
He was the trifecta. He was a racist, a homophobe, and a misogynist.
Total bigot.
Total bigot.
Total bigot. A total bigot. And he's rich. How about that? He's a rich guy. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
and he has a platform.
But that just tells you that him being a head coach, right? And he took the heat for this. So the owner of the Washington football team is under way more heat right now. He can't take a hit this huge. And I'm almost certain it's at least 2 or 3 owner buddies in those emails. They cannot afford to take a hit this huge either. And they do not want those emails to go public. We have to think about something, right? Commissioner Goodell is an employee of the NFL, right? The NFL is ran by their board of governors. The board of governors are the owners. So they run the NFL. Right? They're asking Roger Goodell to bust his bosses. Okay? We have to remember that. Roger Goodell's not in charge of the owners. The owners are in charge of him. You feel me? Like, he goes to meetings to see these guys. They don't go to meetings to see him. So it's a slippery slope. It's going to get very interesting. He may even have to come down with the ship as well because he's the commish. Like, he's going to have to take out those emails. Have to have at least one more owner in there. At least one more. A guy this rich doesn't have that many friends. You know what I'm saying? It has to be somebody on his level. Robert Kraft. We may even see a Robert Kraft in there. This guy was at a soap house in the summertime.
It might see
Jim, a bathhouse. We can't forget him at the bathhouse.
We might see cocaine on Coke Boy on Jim. I can't say his name, but the owners of the Coke.
Ursay. Not Ursay.
Ursay.
Yeah.
Jim Ursay. Hey, that dude there, hey, he got a rap sheet about as long as the Mississippi River.
So there you go. Right there, right? And we know that it's there. The possibility is there. It's just the fact that this stuff has to be released to us so that we can see it. It could be a bunch of nothing. You know what I'm saying? But it's not.
Here's the thing though. They wrapped up the investigation in July. I'm reading the report from ESPN. It says the NFL completed its investigation into Washington workplace culture in July, finding the franchise $10 million. In addition, Tanya Snyder, who's Dan Snyder, the owner of the Washington football team's wife, was named the team co-CEO in June. She took over day-to-day duties of the franchise from her husband.
I remember when that happened. That made the news on ESPN, but it was kind of just like a go or buy type of thing.
It's that it's like the raw bloodline. I'm gonna go over here. You're gonna be the figurehead
while I'm gone in my absence.
When I'm pulling the strings.
And
when I'm pulling the strings.
And the thing with that is that's what keeps their circle, their ring so tight, right? What was it? Like when the owner of the Panthers was selling the team, right? Who you had? Diddy, Steph Curry. You had a few guys with money, right? A few guys with money. That's all it takes to buy a team is some money. And connections. These guys are faces that we know. Steph Curry's from the area. Diddy's guys with a lot of money. They were trying to purchase the team, right? But they were not allowed in. They let another smaller group come in who brought the money up. But it keeps that good old boy network intact because when these type of things happen, you don't want to have someone voting on the board who doesn't align with your same ideas and your same views. I mean, and that's just the way it is. You see people with money all the time that can't just go out and buy an NBA team. They can't just go out and buy an NFL team, an NHL team, an MLB team.
That's a privilege.
You have to be allowed in there.
Yeah.
To have the money is just one thing. A lot of people be like, oh, I just need some money. Having money is just one part of it. Like, you have to be able to have some type of recommendations or a letter or something like that to get inside. You know what I'm saying?
Because this is their toys. This is the rich guys' toys.
Exactly.
This is their toys. That's how rich people. It's several ways rich people show you They're not competing against us. They're competing against other rich people.
Exactly. People on their level.
Get yachts. Yeah, they get yachts. They try to one up each other with yachts. But how they go at each other is they own newspapers, magazines, like
companies, businesses.
That they can get media outlets,
public things that they can form their opinions and stuff around.
Yeah, like you'll probably never see a bad article about Jeff Bezos in the Washington Post because he owns it. He owns it. Exactly.
How you gonna talk about me?
Yeah. And so if I want to get back at a DC insider, I just send my goons from the Post to do something about you. You don't want to let me get this building in this area? Let me do an article about you.
Right.
That's how Rupert Murdoch, he used to assassinate his people with Fox, with Fox News in their news, in the newspaper they owned. It's crazy, man.
They built the narrative. They can build their own narrative.
They control it. They control it.
Yeah.
They control it. And so when you got these owners of these football teams, this is their toy. Because why wouldn't you want to go even if you're mega rich, why wouldn't you want to go to the suite at a game?
Right.
And I gotta come to a Jerry Jones, go holler at Jerry Jones to get that suite at the Cowboys game, the big ticket game. You can't, as a regular fan, you can't even buy a ticket to the Super Bowl. It's so expensive.
Right.
It's all sold out to corporate.
Right. That's true. The corporate
and it's like, why? We're the consumers of the game. We're the ones that matter. No, we don't. It's just the rich. It's their toy.
I mean, we matter in form of purchasing jerseys.
Yeah, our money. Our dollars.
Yeah, watching the games. That's why, honestly, these guys really don't care about knees and stuff like that. They're worried about the fans who are going to be worried about people taking a knee. Honestly, I don't think these owners were even in tune with what was going on the streets. I don't think they were even in tune with those movements until they started to get emails from fans saying, we don't appreciate your player taking the knee and all that. That's when they started to get kind of in tune. Like, wait, what's going on? Like, I didn't know what they were doing with the knee. They don't know what's going on. They're not culturally sensitive enough to know what's going on. They're too rich to be culturally sensitive to what's going on. They're way too rich. You know what I'm saying? These guys are sitting up on their very, very high houses, up on the very high hills, listening to opera music all day. They may not even watch the news because they know it's a bunch of baloney too. So, you know, because like you said, they're running these... they don't care about what's going on there. They worry about what's in their accounts and how that's operating. And as long as that's going good, they're good. I mean, you've seen these guys doling out money, right, to all these community organizations. Tax write-offs for these community organizations that they wanted to say that they wanted to build up the community just to get back into their number one fan, the black folk. They're good graces, man. We watch all the sports, bro. Well, NBA, NFL, we definitely tune in. MLB sometime. We probably not gonna watch hockey too much. Probably not gonna watch NASCAR too much. But
soccer, not too much either.
But these two sports, man, like the biggest sports is NFL and NBA. You know what I'm saying? They want to make sure that they keep us around, and they want to make sure that they keep us as happy as possible without making too many people upset. And that's what was going on with the knees. That's why John Gruden was allowed to have those conversations about fire them and all of that. Just don't hire them and everything. And he can say this stuff in email, but then he comes on ESPN and he's saying totally opposite. And it's just not right. You know what I'm saying? It's not right. It's cold talk. It's coded. What do they call them? They call them ghost skins or something like that, to where on the outside, you have this appearance of being this great guy, but on the inside, man, we know what you're really all about. And John Gruden's emails revealed what he really is about from that whole 10-year run that they got on the guy.
And it's sad. And all you did was find the organization $10 million and told them to do some training. What about these people they violated? There's human beings you violated. At the end of the day, there's human beings. That's why I say nothing short of selling that team should have happened to Dan Snyder. And
absolutely.
Goodell, and Roger Goodell better hope he better be on his knees praying that it doesn't get worse with these emails, because then they're going to turn to him and say, That's all you. He better get on this platform and say, that's all I could do. Right. Within the bylaws, I can't force him to sell a team because I'm a commissioner. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's going to take the other. Then you're going to have to put the pressure on the other owners to force Dan Snyder out. But Snyder has to go, and Goodell, he better be lucky. He better hope that he finishes this tenure out, because if it gets ugly it's 650,000 emails.
That's a lot.
We ain't seen nothing yet.
Yeah, we haven't. We probably won't even know anything until this time next year, honestly. I mean, that's a lot.
Yeah.
There's going to be a huge investigation going into this. And all of this stuff was done 3 months ago, and we didn't even know about it, honestly. It was just, like you said, we saw his wife took over on the ticker. We saw it was a fine on the ticker. But there's no, Stephen A's not talking about this like he's talking about Kyrie Irving. You know what I'm saying? Stephen A's not coming on there talking about this stuff like he's talking about Ben Simmons or something like that. Him. Because
he can't talk about it.
We need to hear about this stuff too. This is all about part of sports. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to be on the players this much, I mean, and I'm over Stephen A. Smith. I've been over Stephen A. Smith a long time ago, but this dude is problematic for many ways, more than one. But you cannot not go hard on this stuff. Rachel Nichols type of stuff. When stuff like this happens and it's affecting the community, you can't just gloss over that, right? But then when people in the community do something, you want to harp on it and punch it and stomp them in the mud and whatnot. I bet if John Gruden was if John Gruden was Mike Tomlin, he wouldn't have made it through the weekend.
Yeah, he wouldn't. First of all, as soon as they got the emails, when they started the
he would have been fired before the emails came out.
Yeah.
We would have found out why he got fired when the emails came out. Like, oh, that's why he got fired.
And it's crazy. It takes
and he wouldn't have resigned. He would have been fired. They gave this guy opportunity to resign. Why wasn't he fired?
Exactly. And here's the thing, man. Here's what I don't like. Here's what I do not like, man. They had this information. They've been sitting on this information. And it wasn't until it got leaked that you want to come out with a punishment. It's just, and that's why I say Goodell is going to be in some trouble, man. He's going to be in some big trouble if this gets ugly. And it's an ugly baby right now. It's an ugly baby to have. And the fact that you just fined them $10 million and told them to do training could be detrimental to you.
Yeah.
Because if the LGBTQ community gets on your behind, and if the women's rights,
if they get on us behind,
well, if they get on him, you know, if because it's not enough.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not enough. $10 million and told him to do training.
Even if you had some women's rights groups who were out here that were really trying.
I'm telling you,
like if Gloria Allred got on this, oh man, if she shows up to the NFL facility with an Allred suit on, it's over. Okay,
it's over.
If she shows up with one of these referees who says they feel like they've been disrespected, one of these women, there's only two of them. Hey, get both of them. Show up down there in Inglewood at the newly opened NFL facility down there and make a fuss. Why not? I mean, listen, we've seen it in every other field. I mean, we're seeing it right now with Dave Chappelle. They're trying to get this guy. He's a comedian. It's his job to have tough conversations about this type of stuff in public.
Social issues.
Not even he's told his stuff in public for everybody, for millions of people to see. John Gruden did this for a few eyes to see, right? And it shows the truth about you. It speaks volumes. And it's not just, I know for a fact, all right, you can't convince me that John Gruden is the only guy out of everyone in the NFL who feels how he feels about all of those same issues. Those were the same hot button issues that would get a very, very deep conversation on the mess decks on a Navy ship. So I can imagine what's going on in the NFL amongst those head coaches.
And those owners. The privileged people. I'm gonna call them privileged people.
Because what did the owner of the Texans say a few years ago? Letting the prisoners run the asylum or something like that.
Yeah,
he mentioned
and he has a track record.
He does.
Mr. McNair has a track record.
I want to see if they got any stuff going on in them emails with Deshaun Watson. That's what I want to know about, because there's been a lot of rumors going on with that whole Deshaun Watson thing and Steve.
What's the latest on that? I haven't heard anything.
I don't know what's going on with Deshaun Watson. All I know is he's not being arrested. Okay, he's not under any type of criminal persecution as far as I'm concerned. Seems like they're just trying to hold him out because he doesn't want to play for them anymore.
I think it was a character assassination.
That's all it is.
From the surface.
That's all it is. But they're trying to take his money. They're trying to take his money from him.
But I will tell you this. If he did that stuff, then he needs to be held accountable.
Absolutely.
That's all I'm saying. Absolutely. I'm one of them guys.
If he did what they said he did, the guy's a monster. He's a predator, okay? He is a walking freakazoid. If he was just laying down, becoming erect at a simple wind and ejaculating on people without even being touched. Without even being touched. The guy has a serious problem. He probably should be institutionalized or put in the hospital or something and get checked. Because if you are doing that and it's just lights coming on, every time somebody flip a light switch, you acting like that, bro, it's something wrong with you. I don't even trust you on the football field at this point. I don't trust you in the locker room around no guys. Because as soon as the shower come on, you might start doing stuff up in there. But if he did all that, he definitely got to be held accountable for it. And
he has to.
And if this is a lie, every single person who has brought allegations towards him needs to be held accountable, and they need to be culpable for what they did. If that's
exactly
the case, you know what I'm saying, and the truth is going to come out. You know what I'm saying? The truth is going to come out. I mean, the guy is not even. Well, he probably is 25 or 26 now. He's very young. He's losing a whole another year of his career.
This is hard. This is hard to come back.
The guy's already lost about 2 or 3 years of his career.
Yeah,
for because of knee injuries.
Yeah,
this is a healthy loss.
In the NFL, you don't just at the professional level that they're at, you just don't pick up and start off again.
But my thing is, why is more stuff not being? I don't hear anything from his side either. I don't hear anything from his camp. It's like his agent, his attorney, is he being failed right now or what? What's going on?
Let me just, I'm gonna just speculate, and this ain't nothing true. This is my outside observation and what I can deem to be true. Because he hasn't denied having sex with him. So sex was had. The part that you need to know, was it consensual?
Was it consensual?
Or not?
And even if it was consensual, this is a powerful guy we're talking about here, right? Was it still unwanted? Even though the baby would have said, fight or flight type of deal. You know what I'm saying? This guy's a powerful guy. I just felt like I had to do it. But I've seen, Rusty Harden. What's the guy's name? The attorney for Deshaun Watson. He's released some statements where the women have already looked like they're being untruthful in the situation. Now, it's a lot of women, but 1 or 2 of them look untruthful so far. And it seems, I don't know. It's all speculation right now. We don't have anything to prove he did or didn't do anything. I just wish that they wouldn't let the guy's career go to waste like this.
I know, man.
But if he's quiet about it, why am I going to be loud? You know what I'm saying? He ain't saying nothing. If he don't care, I shouldn't. You know? I mean, he's allowing this to happen. And it's usually if you're quiet in a situation like this, you must be guilty.
Yeah, he says he's subject of 22 lawsuits, man.
And in 22 what?
Lawsuits.
That's his whole contract. They're trying to get his money. That's all that is. I mean, 2 or 3 women can get you for about $10 million. You bringing up 22 women, man. That's $100 million lawsuit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a whole lot of money for him. That's his contract. You know what I'm saying? And it's probably one of those, if you play, this goes away. But if you keep talking, you got to pay. Probably something like that going on. I don't know, man. He doesn't want to play for the Houston Texans anymore. They ruined the whole team. Bill O'Brien ruined that entire team. DeAndre Hopkins is having a hell of a time in Arizona right now. J.J. Watt is too. And I feel for Deshaun Watson in this whole situation. But once again, those emails from Dan Snyder need to come out so that we can know what's going on, man.
Man, it's sad, man. And that's what I say. When you're in a position to dole out punishment, I've always told, like, just for the Navy, for instance, I always told the COs, if you got the information, hammer them. You got to. Because the blowback from if somebody looks at this and see that you didn't hand them the proper punishment, it's gonna be bad on you.
Mm-hmm.
And
gotta set a precedent. Gotta set a precedent.
Yeah. We'll talk offline about an issue that I had, and it came back a whole year later, and I was just like, told you, if you got an ugly baby, man, you got to be truthful and honest and get in front of it. Mm-hmm. You got to run out in front of it. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, the Raiders, if they would have did like this, if the Raiders would have said, hey, we got this issue with John Gruden, we got these emails. It was before he was a coach, but that's not what we accept here, and we're going to suspend him for 8-10 games. He'll still be a coach. He'll still be a coach. Because you identified the issue, mm-hmm. and you punished him. To be away from the game as a coach, that's punishment. That's to me, that's a fair punishment. And if he would have been sincere in his apology, he would have did some training in those 8 games, kissed some babies, hugged some, went to the gay community, went to the women's community, really learned, been apologetic. You could have probably still been the coach.
And that's why I bring up the fact that these guys have no sense of cultural sensitivity. Because Mark Davis should have been culturally sensitive to know that this is a serious issue, and me simply trying to sweep it under the rug is not going to work in the political climate that we're in right now. Like when it comes to race, the LGBT community, and women right now, bro, like you cannot play with none of that stuff right now. Like especially if you're a white rich guy, like
yep.
White rich guys. It can't fly with, you know what I'm saying? They give other people, they may look at you a little bit, but right now a white rich guy already fits the bill, and you cannot do that, man. Yes. And him just not even realizing that lets me know that these rich guys don't pay attention to what's going on.
They don't care.
You could have, like you said, what you said would have worked perfectly if you would have came out Thursday
and said,
all
man,
this
look.
stuff first broke when. If you would have came out Thursday, hey, listen. Hey, coach said some things. They both would have had to be up there on the podium.
Yeah, and he could have took ownership. He could have literally got on the microphone and said, "Hey, I have in these emails. I said some things that then that now I know was very inappropriate and unbecoming of me as an analyst, as a person, as a human. The things that I said was very judgmental, and I shouldn't have said those things. I was not in the right mind state. I wasn't. And I apologize for that wholeheartedly. And I'm going to do some soul searching within myself to show you that that's not me no longer. I said it. I own it. I screwed up. Take your 10-game suspension. All right. I wish I could have muted your mic before then. But
it was nap time.
Yeah. But I'm trying to. Hopefully, I can edit that out. But all I'm saying is, if you jump in front of it and you follow that grenade and you say, "Hey, man, 10 games," that's significant. That's huge. That is telling everybody that you're bigger than the game. For you to step away from the game like that, for you to take a suspension as a coach on the chin. 10 games? That's a season. But you know what? If they make it to the playoffs, you're back, coach. You still got a job, coach. People move on, coach. We talk about it. You apologize. You show that you're sorry. And you move on, coach. But no, what do? I ain't mean it like that. And then they go, you ain't mean what? Oh, you ain't mean this too? Hit you with the double whammy. And we say the best for last.
And that's what I really think it all boils down to is no matter what, I think it's one of those situations that no matter what he would have said, I think when all this stuff comes out, it's not, you can't be exonerated. Everything you can't even, sometimes you say stuff so bad or you do stuff so bad, you apologize and don't even fix it. You know what I'm saying? Being contrite don't fix it. And it's a lot of emails to sift through, but I mean, you could say the N-word 650,000 times. It's kind of hard to erase them. You know what I'm saying? Or you could say the F-bomb, drop that other F-bomb a few 600,000 times and it ain't going to work. Or say something. So what was he really saying in these emails? You know what I'm saying?
What's the whole context?
Yeah.
I want to read the whole email.
It's not like out of that 650,000, we got these six. These six where he mentioned these things. If he said that in 100 emails, that's a lot. In 1,000 emails, that's a lot. 10,000, 650,000 emails. That's a whole lot of emails to have some questionable conversations with. And like I said, there's recipients on the other end of those emails that are just
and what did they reply to? They're complicit. They're complicit in it. And that's, you didn't check them. And
that's when that right there, my friend. If I don't think they're going to leak these documents. The guys involved have way too much money to have, they can afford to pay to get this stuff not leaked. But if this stuff gets leaked in 2021, man, it's going to be
Hillary Clinton. They better call Hillary Clinton.
Listen, if 2021, maybe in 2019 or 2018 or something like that, you probably could have got away with it. 2021, man, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. People not having it. And people is looking. All right. They waiting on something to happen. They don't want you to do anything. They want you to be cool and just be you. But people are waiting on stuff to happen. And if it do, man, and if you're not even trying to be right and forthright about it and show that you actually like give a darn about the situation, ain't nobody gonna care. Nobody.
Man. This is ugly for the game of football as a whole. Because like you said, who else on them emails?
Who else is on those emails, man? To me, that's the biggest question that needs to be answered the fastest is what other names are on there, and if they are, they're people in positions of power. And if you are on a coaching staff, you're in a position of power. If you're in the front office, you're in a position of power. I don't care if you're the secretary. That's a position of power. Like, we need to know who's saying these things. You know what I'm saying? They have influence. You know, if you get a seal on a letter from one of these professional organizations, man, that could work wonders for you. These are powerful people that we're talking about. And they don't want to make themselves look bad. They don't want to make the organization look bad either. The NFL is the shield is their whole organization. They don't want to make it look bad.
Man, it's crazy. And like, I'm reading an article now from a writer on Undefeated, William C. Roden, and he's basically asking the same questions that we're asking. Who was on the receiving end of those emails? Who enabled them? Because you got to feel comfortable to talk like that.
Exactly.
You have to. Because I'm like this. If you're gonna talk to me like that, I don't want nothing to do with you. So I'm gonna tell you about it, and we're not gonna continue that conversation down that road.
Not at all. There's no point.
And the guy was like, I want to see what Allen had to say. The guy that received the emails, and who else received the email? Who did he forward them to? Who was CC'd on? Because it wasn't just him. An owner, a president of a team just don't get his own emails.
Of course not. Unless, especially going through the NFL, like you said, if it's an NFL.com or whatever their league emails are, if it's a league email, you know that it was filtered. It was definitely filtered.
And that's what I tell people. Like somebody who was on Facebook, and people were like, how did they go? They hunting. How did they go get 10-year-old emails? First of all, homie, when you work for an organization, those emails never go away. You can delete on your end. They can delete on their end.
The IT's
it's sitting on a server. It is sitting on a server, archived in a small metadata format where it's taking up the least amount of space. They compressed it down. It's taking up the least amount of space. And they got them emails, brother. They got those emails.
They all need is a subpoena. All they got to get is that subpoena.
That's all it needs. That's all it needs. Once the subpoena hits, they go in, that little IT logs in, prints out. There you go, 650,000 emails just like that. I'm talking about just like that. He put the time, he put the parameters in. What time frame y'all looking for? Okay, from January 21 to 2010, 2011. Got you. Put those parameters in. Everything in there gets uploaded. You want it print out or you want it on a disk? How you want it? And I'm telling you, man, you better stay off Al Gore's internet with that foolishness, bro.
Man, they out here tripping, man. And I don't know what warranted this. Well, of course I know. He's a bigot. That's all it is, man. You don't really have much. And honestly, right, like, okay, regular people have regular conversations that are fun, that are funny. You know what I'm saying? You talk about family life. You talk about what happened on TV. People that are bigoted, man, they have bigoted conversations and they seem normal. Yeah. They seem normal to them. Like, bigoted conversations sound very normal because you're just having a very misogynistic talk. You're just talking. I can't even imagine what they're talking about because I don't think like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't have those type of thoughts. I can only imagine that it's a lot of N-words in there. You know, it's a lot of, like you said, the F-words are in there. There's a lot of B's and hoes in there. And I'm sure there's a lot of that type of talk going on. These guys are punks. They're sensitive. They're sissies. I'm sure a lot of those words being thrown around in there as well. And those emails need to come out. Plain and simple.
And the thing is, here's the thing. Gruden gives that persona as a tough guy, a matter-of-fact guy. Well, you had an opportunity, again, to jump ahead of this. You could have said, hey, it's more in those emails. Because he tried to say, well, I don't remember the emails. And granted, that's 10 years ago, so I don't remember what I wrote in a lot of things. But if you show me and I wrote it, I'm going to own it. I can't do nothing but own that ugly baby.
You don't have to remember the emails, but you know how you talk. Mm-hmm. You know your conversation. You know the words you use. Like, if somebody said I was saying proper nickel or I don't ever talk like that, that's a lie. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But if they say I was saying some MFs or something, hey, I probably did say that. Hey, it sound like something I would have said. You know what I'm saying? It do sound like me. You know, so come on, man. John Gruden, bro, you tried it. You were you failed horribly. And it's time to eat that crow, man.
And it's like this. He says, I don't have a racist bone in my body. But you got a misogynistic bone in your body. You got a homophobic bone in your body. You got a bigot bone in your body. You check it, bro. You are what you are. Just say, you know what, man, I gotta do better. As a man, I gotta do better.
And
I'm too comfortable to be talking like that.
And that's the thing I think he was trying to hold fast to was if I'm not racist, right, it'll be okay because, you know, the black guys will still accept me if I'm just talking about women. They'll still accept me if I'm just talking about gays. Oh, wait. I have a gay guy on my team. Like, and he's cool with these guys. You know what I'm saying? So now it's like, yeah, now it's like, you know, man, like you said, he hit all three and
you can't do that, man. And like people go, oh, we got soft no, it's not soft after you see multiple people commit suicide because of how you mistreat them. You can't, that has nothing to do with mistreatment. I don't care what kind of, you can't just mistreat or talk about people when you're in a position to employ people because he can employ gay people. Because what if a gay person came and applied for a job and he go,
or what if a gay guy wanted to be drafted?
And then, and he was qualified. But here you are, you took away an opportunity because of the way you think, and you clearly said that you didn't want them to have an opportunity by your words. You didn't want women to be a referee. You don't want women in this league. So I wonder what he said about a woman coach, a woman football coach. I wonder what he got to say about that. Because I think the 49ers have a woman coach.
They do.
Pull up them emails.
They do.
Pull up them emails. I want to know what he got to say about that. Because you comment on everything else. You comment on the protesters, the people that's protesting. You know what I'm saying? Have you ever stopped one of your players and asked them, how do you feel? How about that, Gruden? We know how you feel. Have you ever asked one of your players to sit down and understand them? Sometimes we have differences. And that's what people have to do. If you're a true human, you will sit down with other people and say, man, I don't understand. Like, just take for religion, for instance. I don't stand under Islam. So instead of me bashing Islam, I'll sit down with somebody and talk to them. That's what a man to do. Mm-hmm. That's what a woman to do. That's what as humans, that's what we should do. Yeah. Understand the other side. I'll sit down and talk with a racist. Why are you like that? Let's help each other out. Mm-hmm. Let's help each other out. You know what I'm saying? Why do you view me like that?
Because a lot of the times, honestly, it's just ignorance. You know what I'm saying? People, well, obviously it's ignorance, but the true matter is they just are not knowledgeable about the thing that they dislike. That's true. Yep. That's just, like you don't even know anybody gay, lesbian, or anything, but you dislike them. You know what I'm saying? How is that even possible? You know what I'm saying? You don't like black people, but you dislike them. It's not possible, but when you're that type of person, it's very much so possible because you feel like you feel privileged enough to not even have to associate with those people because you feel like, hey, I can afford to not have those people in my presence, right? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm rich enough to just keep my family and my friends around me. And if that's the type of person you are, that's fine. But you can't be in a position where you can kind of put your views off on other people. Yeah. It's reported that Mark Jackson lost his job with the Warriors because he was having like Bible study, and having some, practices. Just having some communion and stuff after practice, right? But because they didn't want views pushed off on the players, they took him out. But what's bad about that, man? If you having people who want to do Bible study, but you have this guy over here being a misogynistic bigot, you know what I'm saying? So it's once again, it's the good old boys club. Like what you're going to accept in here, right? Whatever we want to have in here accepted. As long as we're all on board with it, we're good to go. And until we get more owners that look like other people in the NFL, you're going to still have these same type of issues.
Yep. And I'm telling you right now, yes, I am passing judgment on John Gruden because he know better. I'm not perfect. I said stupid things in my lifetime, but as I grew and I learned, and I worked around different types of people, and I learned that about them that they're human, like Dave Chappelle. They're human. They're human. So you don't say idiotic things. And you as a coach, you as a commentator, you have access to everybody. You have access to doors that me and you'll never have access to. Right. So I know you knew better.
Mm-hmm. You got the training.
You can't tell me there's not gay people. And when I say gay, I'm grouping it as the LGBT community. That's what I mean. Within these organizations, some might still be in the closet. We talk to people that is in that lifestyle every day, and you don't even know. Uh-huh. How many times I've been shocked when I found out somebody that came out and said that, hey, I like men, and I'm just like, my nephew, he's gay. I found out on an Instagram post, and had I been younger, I probably would have said some idiotic things to him. But me having access to different people, different walks of life, I understood him. And I told him, I said, I still love you. Still my nephew. Uh-huh. Still love you. That ain't going to change. You know what I'm saying? And that was it. That's all I said. He ran because I said a comment. I was like, hey, why is that guy standing so close to you? He deleted me off. He deleted me off social media. And I'm like, and so I reached out to him and said, why you do that? He didn't want me to judge him. I said, why would I judge you? You're my nephew. I'm going to judge you regardless. Yeah. You're my nephew. I ain't going to be happy with all your decisions. But I still love you. You're still my nephew. Uh-huh. You know what I'm saying? Now, younger me, idiotic me, probably would have said something stupid because of where I grew up and how I grew up. Uh-huh. But as I got older, I knew, what they say, you know better, you do better. Uh-huh. And John Gruden, you can't tell me he don't know better. You go to clinics. You don't learn just to, like, when you get to that level of coaching, you have to go to training.
He definitely got the training.
You know what I'm saying? You got to go to ethics meetings. You got to go to all these high level meetings. Me and you in the military. We did countless hours of ethics, sexual assault training, just being better sailors to each other, being better shipmates to each other. So I know he received that at an executive level. You know what words not to use because you're a commentator. You know what words not to use.
Exactly. He's been taught that you can't say this, you can't use that. This guy's been a speaker at the rookie symposium, at those rookie symposiums. You know what I'm saying? They give those guys all that type of sensitivity training and whatnot. So he's definitely gotten the training tenfold. He's probably conducted trainings himself. He knows better, right? And he knows better enough to know that he should have stepped down from his job like he did. You know what I'm saying? I just wish that other guys in his position, i.e. Dan Snyder, had that same wherewithal to know when it's time to say, you know what, I'm caught. You know what I'm saying?
He go too big.
Donald Sterling need to go ahead and call Daniel Snyder and let him know, man, it's okay on the other side. Just let it go, bro.
Just let it go, man. You still gonna be rich.
You're still gonna be rich, man. You're still gonna have money. You're not gonna have the power to control the people that's really what it is. He wants to manipulate people. They don't want to lose that power and that control, but he doesn't deserve it. You know what I'm saying? He was put in a position to where he could change, like you said, change and alter lives for the good, and he chose to do it for the bad, and he doesn't need to be in that position anymore.
And that's sad, man. That's sad. You forced women that already get low paid. Them cheerleaders don't get paid nothing.
Right.
And they're already objectified sexually.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And because you're not gonna put no what you deem an ugly woman out there as a cheerleader. So you're gonna pull the sexiest, beautifulest girl to be your cheerleaders. And you know what's crazy? What's saddening? I met those cheerleaders in 2016. They came to the Middle East for a tour, and I met them. I got a picture with them, and it's disheartening to know that they were objectified like that. Like, come on, these are your employees, man. These are your employees. You know that, right? Like, they work for you, bro. And you got them posing topless. You forcing them. You didn't give them the option. You forced them.
Hey, power don't come with options, man. You know what I'm saying? Power don't give you options, man. Just give you, get it. Come here. Get it or get out.
And then they're not compensated for it. And then you pass that image and that likeness around, and you put that in on Al Gore's internet, and it's there forever.
Scarred. What Luke said. Scarred.
And now when these emails come out, these 650 emails, that's going to be a part of it.
Gotta be.
That's going to be a part of it.
Gotta be. It has to be. You can't leave that part out.
That alone, to me, that should remove you as an owner, because that's bad judgment. That's
what I said. Bring your character into question. You have a very, very low character. You have very low character when you start doing that. Your character is very much brought into issue. You know, you have to question everything at that point, because you're immoral. You know what I'm saying? You're throwing all your morals out the window at that point. Like, you have no regard for anyone, you know. So those type of people need to be, I'm not going to say made an example out of or anything like that. But, hey, man, they need to definitely be disciplined in a real type of way, so that, you know what I'm saying, other people know that that's not cool. Because, like I said, if John Gruden, a head coach, was having that type of conversation with those type of ideas, I can imagine what the GMs are thinking. I can imagine what the owners are thinking. And not just in the NFL, right, where you have a lot of black players. How do you think the owners in the MLB feel when they don't have that many black players or that many women involved with baseball? You know what I'm saying? I can imagine what they're saying about the other leagues that are a little bit more progressive or a little bit more forward thinking. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you can see someone like LeBron James purchase a stake into the Boston Red Sox. You know, you're not really seeing that in a lot of the other major sports either. So every sport, I think, has its own good and bad. I think a lot of people like to say that the NBA is like the most progressive sports league in the U.S. You could say that. A lot of people look at the NFL, what they've done off the field over the last year or so with the Black Lives Matter movement, giving out donations And then, like I said, with MLB, man, they're doing a lot with the Boys and Girls Clubs in the inner cities, trying to get more black kids and more kids in general that are not just, different races to play baseball and try to get all inclusive. So I think that a lot of the sports leagues are doing their parts to try to get better. This just definitely wasn't a good look for the NFL. And if they don't handle it like you said, it's not going to. They already have those women groups on them about when wives and girlfriends get beat and abused. I can imagine what the women groups have to sink their teeth in on this one, because you have the cheerleaders being attacked. You have the female referees being attacked as well. You know what I'm saying? So that's definitely going to have to be called into question.
I want, and I hope the National Black Justice League that went after Dave Chappelle, I hope that they go after the NFL like they tried to go after Dave Chappelle about this Michael Sam's, the comment about Michael Sam's. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he was a black gay. He was a double minority. He was a black male that was gay.
Those type of organizations only target. I'm sorry, I hate to say this. That's what the proof is to me. Those type of organizations only attack heterosexual black males, man. That's it. They want to go after your babies. They want to go after, those type of people who they really want. Dave Chappelle, they look at the Caucasian ones and they kind of feel like they're probably too high up on the pecking order to go after. It's easy to hit a black man. Very easy to kick a black man when he's down, bro. That's like one of the easiest things you can do. Probably only thing easier than hitting a black man is probably like a black woman when they down. Other than that, it's kind of hard to punch up and hit a rich white guy, bro. He did his apology. He's done. I really feel like John Gruden's done with all of this shit. Like, he said what he had to say. He's done with it. Like, he probably not even thinking about it no more. And it's just becoming one of these hot button items for everyone else.
He's gonna lay low. He's gonna lay low. And he's gonna do something to make it. He's gonna be back.
He's gonna be allowed to be hidden for the next 2 or 3 years. We won't see John Gruden anywhere for the next 2 or 3 years because he has that cachet to not be seen for 2 or 3 years. When we do see this guy, he's gonna have a TV contract.
Yep.
That's how I feel about it. Anyway, you know what I'm saying?
But
that's how I feel.
That was a phenomenal show. You got any last words?
Hey man, listen, this right here was fun to me. I don't know how regular we're going to do this, how often we're going to do this, but we definitely have to do this more regular and more often. So y'all make sure y'all tune in with us. Y'all already know what to do, man. Stay locking in with us, man. We want to talk about these topics. It's not just sports. Politics get hot. We like music, entertainment. Y'all already know we like the food, all that stuff, man.
Everything.
So,
everything. New gadgets that come out. I mean, we're all around.
Yeah,
we're well rounded.
Yeah.
Not just around the stomach. We're around in all aspects of things. But I appreciate you, man. I know this is a short notice. This is our first time. This is the first of many that we came out, and like I say, man, people are. I got somebody tagged me in a TikTok because they want us to go review this chicken place up in L.A. This chicken strips.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
What's the name of the spot?
Matter of fact,
off the top of your head?
I'll tell. I don't know. I'll pull up the TikTok right now.
Tag me in it too. Tag me in it too or something.
Okay. I got a DM. It is. I'm about to tag you right in it.
Tag me in that thing. What? Tag me in that thing.
I just tagged you. It's called Jaybird's Chicken.
Jaybird's? I think I heard of Jaybird's before.
Yeah.
I'm familiar. Okay. We're gonna have to go get some more food, man. Check some more food out. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
But this right here was definitely fun, man. I enjoyed this one. I want to do this one right here again, man. This right here was real cool.
Yeah, for sure. But I gotta say, thank y'all for tuning in. This is just the beginning of many. And that's all I got, man. Hey, watch what you say about people. Watch what you type about people. We ain't perfect. If you get caught, take ownership. That's all I got to say, man. You said it. Ain't nobody else said it. You said it and you meant it when you said it. Stand on it. Correct yourself when corrected. Eat your crow. Get smart and get better, man. For real. But that's all I got to say. I'm going to deuce it out, man.
Peace out.